Borough President. Go ahead. Ready to go? Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. I just want to say that I'm here today with the president of the Bronx Borough Economic Development Corporation, Marlene Syndrome. I'm here with the Commissioner of the State Department of Labor, Peter Rivera. I'm here with State Assembly Member Luis Sepulveda, with Assembly Member Marcos Crespo, with State Senator Gustavo Rivera, and City Council members Vanessa Gibson and Andy Cohen as well. The reason why we're here, good morning everyone. The reason why we're here and the reason why this is such a great day for the Bronx is because this is the announcement of a wonderful partnership between the governor of the state of New York, Governor Cuomo, myself, the Department of Labor, and the Bronx Overall Economic Development Corporation, as well as with the elected officials, where we are putting the Bronx to work. Ladies and gentlemen, since I've taken office back in 2009, the unemployment rate in the Bronx was 13.8%. Fast forward, the good news is that since June of this year, we are down to 10.8%. Over the last 5 years, we have created 14,000 new jobs in the Bronx. The bad news is, ladies and gentlemen, is that we, out of the 62 counties of the state of New York, the Bronx is still #1 in unemployment, and we are the only county in double-digit unemployment rate. That needs to stop. That needs to change. This will change, and it will start today. And today, what we're announcing is the creation of a partnership between, again, the State Department of Labor with an initiative that's called New York Works, and in this case, Bronx Works. Among many things, what the Department of Labor is offering right out of this office with a team that the Commissioner has assembled and has brought here to the Bronx, they will offer partnership success, working with my office and the Bronx Overall Economic Development Corporation. We've already shown how we can work together by making thousands of people identify themselves and putting hundreds of them to work at the new Bay Plaza Mall, which we know opened up last week. The State Department also offers services for businesses in terms of job fair and customized recruitment services. These job fairs and recruitment services can be tailored to the requirements of your business and assist in your hiring needs. They will also have job postings and what's called Jobs Express. Jobs Express is on the Governor Cuomo's online jobs database, which currently lists more than 100,000 available positions. Hiring and training incentives. The Department of Labor staff will help you to identify applicable hiring and training incentives, including for youth, veterans, and minimum wage workers. Tax credits for youth hiring. This will incentivize businesses to hire our youth between the ages of 16 through 24. And also human resource consultation, shared work and layoff alternative, as well as things like health and safety consultation. I've always said that what we wanted to do is we no longer want to be the county with the #1 unemployment rate. I said that while we are helping businesses in the Bronx, it is one thing, and let me be clear, it is one thing to create jobs in the Bronx, it is another thing to create jobs for Bronxites. And so again, we've gone from 13.8% to 10.8% in the last 5 years. I want to make sure that working with Commissioner Rivera, working alongside of the President of the BOEDC, Marlene Syndrome, working with our great Governor Andrew Cuomo, that we want to make sure that the Bronx is no longer #1 in unemployment. And so with that, I want to bring to you the Commissioner of the State Department of Labor to say a few words, Commissioner Peter Rivera.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice President. I can't emphasize how historic this gathering is. Because it's for the first time in the history of the state of New York that New York State recognizes that we have a problem, and that it is not the borough president's problem, it's not the local elected officials' problem, but it's all our problem. And the fact is that New York State, when it dealt with unemployment, it dealt with unemployment the way the federal government deals with unemployment. A little effort here, a little effort there, a little effort everywhere. This is different, and let me tell you where we are and where we're going. This is a concentrated, geographically located effort in the county of the Bronx. Never been done before. Never identified an area where you're going to dedicate resources, effort, and push to make a change. We started in the Bronx. The other 4 areas that New York State is going to be moving at is going to be in Brooklyn, where the unemployment rate is not as high as in the Bronx, but it's still in the almost double-digit percentages, and 2 other counties, Lewis and Jefferson County, upstate New York. And we've identified these 4 areas where New York State owes the residents of those areas a responsibility. It's going to make a very sincere effort to make changes. This effort started, by the way, last year when we had a cabinet meeting, when the governor called the cabinet of all the commissioners together, and we talked about where do we start, what do we do when it comes to unemployment, and several of my colleagues raised the question, we have to look at it, the problem as a geographical problem, and we have to attack it as a geographical problem. It started also last week, well, better yet, it started a couple of months ago when we held a massive job fair in Co-op City, and the part of that culmination occurred last week when we went to a job fair where 1,800 people were hired. Of those 1,800, 1,900 were long-term unemployed. As I mentioned last week, a long-term unemployed person is an individual who has been unemployed for 26 weeks. He or she have expended their unemployment benefits. They have no more money coming in from the state government, and they're living on borrowed money. They're living on what friends are able to give them, and they're living on charity for the most part. So again, this is historical, this is tremendous, and the best part about it is that it started in a borough that I'm quite familiar with. It started in my borough, the borough of all these elected officials, the borough of the Bronx. So there's a line from an old movie that everybody knows. It's from Casablanca. The movie ends with, this is the beginning of a beautiful relationship. Now, I'd like to think of myself as Humphrey Bogart. And but the borough president would like to take that, but I'm going to change that. I'm not Humphrey Bogart. Andrew Cuomo is Humphrey Bogart. That makes you Claude Rains. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner. Ladies and gentlemen, just to give you a couple of statistics here, the Bronx is a borough of 1.4 million residents. The workforce is about 507,000 plus. But as of June, we still have about 61,000 plus people who are collecting unemployment. And since I've been at Borough Hall, this is the one issue that we have been addressing, and I've charged one individual as my partner in economic development to address the unemployment rate, to address economic development. We've seen a private investment in the last 5 years of about $6 billion. Again, we created about 14,000 new positions, and that's because of the energy of this individual and her staff. Ladies and gentlemen, the president of the Bronx Overall Economic Development Corporation, Marlene Ziegler.
I first and foremost want to thank Governor Cuomo, as well as Commissioner Rivera and of course Borough President Ruben Diaz, for their ability to communicate with each other, discuss a very big issue in New York State, and come up with an amazing solution. What they have come up with and what the governor has given us with the commissioner is a unit. This is the first time that there is a state agency that has been placed, a division has been placed into a nonprofit organization. While I've been responsible for revving up the engines of economic development, when these jobs began to develop, I understood that if I didn't such as DOL, all these jobs that were being created as a result of our collective efforts may not go to the people who needed them the most, and that was the people of the Bronx. And as a result, it's these kinds of partnerships where great government, not good government, great government comes together with the agencies, with the boots on the ground, that we're able to do the right thing for the people in the Bronx. And as a result, we now have the resources that we have necessary, that we've deemed necessary, to make sure that our people come first, that our residents are the first in line for all of these jobs that are being created here in the Bronx. And so I am delighted that we're not just doing that, but as a result of them being here, they get to see firsthand what kind of jobs are being created. And the limited resources of the state then can come forward and say, okay, the new trends in jobs is this, and as a result, job and workforce development that we are going to do next is going to make sure that these training jobs, these job trainings go towards these jobs that these employers that we're now talking face to face with need in order to expand and grow. It's a win-win, it's a partnership with not only government but also our current and future employers here in the Bronx. And I, for one, am so delighted to have New York Works, or more importantly, New York Works in the Bronx, in the offices of BOEDC. And we urge job seekers and we urge employers who need a totally enthusiastic Bronx labor force to contact us here at BOEDC. We are going to join the employers with a fantastic, committed labor force. And I can't wait to get started.
Thank you, Marlene. Again, let me just reiterate the word partnership here. And what you see, the people you see standing behind me, a lot of the folks here are men and women from also our community boards. This initiative will also be brought to different community boards as well as satellite offices. We have, again, a wonderful, wonderful group of elected officials who continue to speak in one voice at every branch, at every level of government, from our New York State Assembly members to the City Council to the State Senate. I also want to bring up the Vice President of the Board of the Bronx Over Economic Development Corporation, my good friend Bob Medline, who's here today to say a few words. Bob.
Good morning. On behalf of the Board of Directors, we like to say this is a great day for the Bronx. You have seen what happens when you bring demand for jobs from the economic development side that Marlene was created, and the supply side that the Commissioner brings with the able workers. Together, those two forces in the Bronx make us exactly what our borough president said. Bronx is God's country, and now we're creating the type of jobs so that we can continue on our trajectory. So on behalf of the Board of Directors, we're very excited about this, and we say continue the good work.
Thank you. And again, the message that we want to send, a clear message is, look, if you want to do business in the Bronx, you have to do business with the Bronx. And what we're doing here is, oftentimes, many of us in elected office, whenever we go to corporate America in the past, there was always like this excuse of not being able to find anyone. And that is not the case. That will not be the case. We will help corporate America the way we've done, identify eligible Bronxites for whatever positions. And if not, the Department of Labor will also work to train those Bronxites for those said positions. But I want my colleagues in government to say a few words. I'm going to start off with State Senator Gustavo Rivera.
I'm State Senator Gustavo Rivera from the 33rd District in the Northwest Bronx. You know, the first thing that people usually ask me when they recognize me on the street is, do you have a job for me? That's almost across the board what happens, which is why I'm so excited to be here today with my colleagues in government, certainly with the Borough President, and standing along with the Commissioner of Labor. Because when you have the unemployment rate that we have in the Bronx, we need to work collectively to make sure that we impact that. So we're going to work together to make sure that we keep moving it, we keep moving this needle in a positive direction. We're going to continue to get jobs for people in the Bronx. I'm very happy. I'm going to be happy when I see them today. And they recognize me, I'll tell them I have exactly one place that you should go. And we're going to make sure that we work along with the borough president and the governor to make sure that we get Bronx sites in the fold. Thank you so much.
Thank you. State Assemblyman Marcos Crespo.
I also want to thank the Bronx Borough President and the Governor, Andrew Cuomo, for starting this vision a long time ago when he tapped one of our brightest minds from right here in the Borough of Bronx to lead the Department of Labor, and that's Commissioner Rivera. Because without his leadership, I don't know that we would be here today creating and opening this one-stop shop for individuals in the Bronx to be able to come and get whatever help they need in order to find the right job. There have been other efforts attempted in the past. Unfortunately, it's like everything else. When you're too spread out, your effort is the same. So this is the right thing to do. This is the right way to do it. En español, esto es una iniciativa muy importante para la comunidad. Todos los residentes del Bronx dicen lo mismo, necesitamos empleo, y aunque hay servicios, no saben dónde comenzar a conseguirlos, pero gracias al gobernador Cuomo, gracias al presidente del condado, gracias al comisionado Rivera, gracias a Marlene Cintrón en BOEDC, ahora tenemos un lugar céntrico, una sola oficina, donde cualquier servicio, tanto para un empleado como un empleador, poder llegar, conectarse y recibir los servicios necesarios. Vamos a poner a nuestra gente a trabajar, hay que mejorar las condiciones en el Bronx, y comienza con esta iniciativa. Muchas gracias.
Thank you. Councilwoman Domestic.
Thank you and good morning, everyone. I'm excited to join with all of my colleagues and Commissioner Rivera, Marlene Cintrón, and the entire BOED staff, along with our incredible, amazing borough president. This is a historic partnership, and I'm so delighted that the Bronx is getting the attention it deserves. This partnership is a creative approach to identifying those Bronx residents that are truly in need of long-term employment opportunities. And we know that these employment opportunities lead to increased opportunities at a quality of life, education, health care, and affordable housing. And I am so honored that we have a commissioner at the Department of Labor that recognizes that the Bronx must be the epicenter of creating employment opportunities. So I want to thank our governor, our commissioner, our borough president for their commitment to recognizing that employment opportunities will lead the Bronx into the next horizon. Congratulations to everyone, and I'm excited to be a part of this incredible effort. Thank you.
Thank you. Antes de cortar la cinta, quiero decirle que estamos aquí hoy con este gran anuncio de una asociación entre el gobernador, este servidor del presidente del condado de Bronx, el comisionado del Departamento de Labor del Estado de Nueva York, Pires Rivera, la presidenta de la Oficina de Desarrollo Económico del condado de Bronx, y básicamente lo que estamos haciendo es dos cosas. Estamos ofreciendo servicios a aquellos empresarios de parte del Departamento de Labor. A la misma vez estamos trabajando y vamos a trabajar con esos empresarios para poder tener la conexión, identificar a aquellos residentes del condado del Bronx que están cualificados y buscan este empleo. La realidad es que nosotros hemos hecho mucho esfuerzo en los últimos 5 años. Cuando yo empecé como presidente, el desempleo estaba 13.8%. El junio pasado, las cifras nos enseñan que bajamos a 10.8%. Esa es la buena noticia. La mala noticia es que todavía de los 62 condados del estado de Nueva York somos número 1 en el desempleo. Eso tiene que cambiar, eso va a cambiar, y empezamos ese cambio aquí hoy en esta oficina gracias a la colaboración entre el Departamento de Labor y la Oficina de Desarrollo Económico. Le queremos dar las gracias a Pires Rivera, pero también, más importante, a nuestro gobernador Andrew Cuomo. And so with that, if there aren't any questions, we'll cut the ribbon. Bob.
Question. Congratulations to you and Senator Klein on the new MTA route for East Bronx.
Thank you.
But our roads here in the Bronx are crumbling around the Bronx. Mass transit is overcrowded, and the MTA is cutting back wherever they can. With these new jobs, you're going to even more overtax the crumbling roads and overburdened mass transit system. how can you improve our roads and get more service on our mass transit?
Your question is valid, Bob, and you know that we've been doing that. One of the things that we are working with the governor of the state of New York is to offer different transportation alternatives, mainly with hopefully the financing of the 4 Metro North stations, which Andrew Cuomo has been totally supportive of. In fact, he announced it in his State of the State address. When you look at what we were able to accomplish with the new mall at Bay Plaza, again, working with the state and working with our governor, we've been able to expand the lanes, the entrance lanes and the exit ramps out of Bay Plaza so that we can accommodate. They continue to lend us an ear, so does the city of New York. And we, working with the MTA, have already identified how is it that we not only increase bus routes into areas like Bronx City, but also augment and expand other bus routes. So again, we are growing, the Bronx is booming, the Bronx is beautiful, and at every step of the way, working with our elected officials, again in the city, the state, and at the federal level, not only are we creating jobs, not only are we continuing to increase our housing stock, but we are totally mindful and we speak in one voice, and we're building and planning with what I call a purpose. So whether it's creating jobs and housing and offering amenities to the people of the Bronx, we're also doing it keeping in mind that our infrastructure also has to keep up. Okay, with that said, we're gonna cut. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right.